back to Garage Kei. Today I'm going to attempt to pull an engine apart.
And it looks like it's going to have to be modified straight out of the packet. So what's unusual about that?
Okay, ladies and gents, this is what is known as an F6A engine. This particular one came from an Alto, and I can tell that by looking at the gearbox. I can tell it's a four-wheel drive because it has that area on the back for the propeller shaft, and it has the top mount intercooler. The tower is scooped, as you can see, unlike the F6A from the Cappuccino, which is not scooped. You can see that it has the ABV here on top. The pipe work is different on the Alto to the Cappuccino. The outlet pipe for the turbo is also different. Another difference is this here. This is not on the Cappuccino. This is the thermostat, and it's located over here on the Cappuccino. You'll see that the throttle body points this way, whereas on a Cappuccino it points the other way. It still has all of the same sensors. It uses, let's see, this is the idle up for the aircon, and this is a map sensor. The same throttle position sensor here. It has the EGR. It has this thing here, which I don't actually know what that is. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm pretty sure we can get rid of it. This outlet down here is different, as you can see. If you're familiar with a Cappuccino, you'll notice that that is not the same. I should also mention that the distributor is different. It doesn't have the same distributor. This one is quite a bit bigger. I don't know why they did that, but they just did. Things that are the same: the exhaust manifold is the same, and that's about it, really.
That's not entirely true. The internals are all the same with the F6A twin cam, so if you can't find an Alto crank, you will be able to use a Cappuccino crank, no problem at all. This is the twin cam though. Don't be messing around with blocks and things from other F6As, otherwise you might have an issue. I covered that in another video. So we're talking about pistons, rods, cranks, head gaskets. It doesn't matter if it's Cappuccino or Alto. Cams, for example, no problem at all. Alto, Cappuccino, swappable, no problem at all. The external stuff, the intake manifold is different on an Alto. The pipework that runs across the front of the cam belt cover is different between Alto and Cappuccino. Yeah, so things like that. But the way that internals work, it's swappable. The clutch is not. If you want to use an Alto clutch on a Cappuccino or vice versa, you have to use the flywheel as well. But if you have the flywheel and clutch set, you can switch back and forward. The Alto one is lighter from factory, so there's that to consider. If you go aftermarket, the lightweight flywheel for an Alto is even lighter than the lightweight flywheel for a Cappuccino. Just something to keep in mind. But don't forget, you have to change the clutch as well. You can't use a Cappuccino clutch on an Alto flywheel. Trivia for you.
So why am I showing you this? Well, because I'm going to pull it apart. I'm going to take the head off and then send it to someone. So I need to do that. Yeah. ABV. This has already been removed by someone, which is very curious, and so is this one. It's quite loose and pliable. These are normally the first ones to crack, which kind of makes me feel like this might be a good engine because someone's replaced this at some point. That's nice. But at the same time, there's quite a lot of gunk up in there. Well, that's loose too, isn't it? So the intercooler's been off. Let's go for these. Okay. Nope. Oh, they're very, very tight indeed. I got some Pentaton penetrating oil and some 556, which is basically WD-40. So we're gonna just straight up drown every damn thing because it is not gonna hurt. That needs to come off too. We're gonna drown all of the things. Two. That's a no. Slowly turning, but really, really in there. You'd be surprised at what those little taps do to help make the screw move, because it really does make a difference. Like, I'm not increasing the force that I'm putting on it, but those little taps are just making it turn. I'm applying the same amount of pressure, but the taps help it turn. I can probably, there we go. Oof. 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 Okay. That's not going to move. That's not going to move at all. What about this one? Okay, alright, this one's loose. That's nice. I wanted to pull this whole engine apart today, but I might, like, all the time I have might be spent just trying to get this cover off. Maybe. Oh. Oh, okay, so that's just, that's so rusted, without much force at all, the screw head's just decided to destroy itself. So that one's not coming out in a hurry. We'll, I'll decide what to do with that later. We'll, yeah, move on. Let's get the intercooler off. It's already undone. It's always my fear that the person who sold me this engine already checked it, knows that it's rooted, and then sold it because it's rooted. It was listed as condition unknown. That may very well have been a lie. Especially considering that this these pipes are loose. Perhaps maybe they went to get it, because this screw head under here is rooted. So maybe they tried to get in to have a look and went, nah, f it, sell it. Or they opened it up and then put it back together with gorilla arms, thinking, screw it, we're going to sell it anyway. One or the other. I don't know why I do everything by hand, I just do. Stuff like this I could do with the drill, but I just never seem to bring it with me. Now it seems like if I was to go get it, that's going to be take more time than it's worth to go get it, if you know what I mean. So our intercooler is free to a good home. Yeah, these are off too. Like someone's had the intercooler off. Right, that's already off. I don't know where that one goes. Yeah, look at that. What's that been hitting on? For sale. If you need one of these, let me know. It's in that kind of condition. Someone's destroyed this screw. Hopefully they destroyed this screw and then went, Nah, we can't do anything with it. I hope that's what they did. Getting this out's gonna suck. Let's try and get that one. More Peneton. And I might go get a hammer. Are you going to cooperate? That's the question. Yes, not even tight. That's how they should be. Probably did it up with an impact screwdriver. Ugga-duggered the things in like a moron, and here we are. That's why I always use a torque wrench when putting an engine together, even for dumb stuff like this. I didn't used to, I'll admit, but I do now. Because it's not worth the headache later. This is oily, but it's not more than I would expect. So I do have hope that this engine is not rooted. That hope might be misplaced, but still I have hope. This cover's actually cracked here, so it's probably not worth anything to sell. If I can determine that it's not worth anything to sell, I'll just rip it off and then get the screw out with vice grips. I mean, these days there are a lot of makers of these. Tri-Power makes a very, very nice carbon fiber one. There's various aluminium ones you can buy from Yahoo Auction. So yeah, I mean, even if I destroy this one, it's not irreplaceable. We're gonna do our best to get this out of here. I need a hammer. Okay, I'm gonna try this with a screwdriver. If this doesn't work, I'll go get a punch. What I'm gonna do is try and put a groove in the side of the screw and then angle my screwdriver so that I'm pushing it in, like trying to rotate the screw head. But this is really, really in here. To be honest, I really don't like my chances of this. A piece of the screw would rather snap off than the thing actually spin. So I don't hold much hope for it being able to turn. It did turn a little bit, but it has stopped again. Now this is just round now, so that's no longer going to work. Try this one. I don't think this is working either, to be honest. No, right, so that's not going to work. For that, we're gonna have to get them out another way. I'll try spinning them more with the screwdriver, but I do not like my chances of this working. The screw's so soft, it's just falling apart while I'm trying to hit it. Like, it's fair, this is really bad. Yeah, no. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to sacrifice the cover. Cover is cracked anyway, so, but I mean, we'll keep trying because I enjoy this, believe it or not. That's a no, but we will get in. Don't worry about that. It just won't happen the conventional way. Let's try these ones. I really don't want to hack these ones out, so I hope I can get these ones to spin. But no, they don't want to spin either. That's crazy. What about this one? Wow. I don't know how much force they used to put these things in here, but it was way too much. Let's try our tappy method on this one. Can you see that? Can you see that spinning? It is spinning. I really want you to see this.
As you can see, I'm wasting way too much time just trying to get this plug cover off. It's broken anyway, so let's just rip it off.
Out you come. There we go. Perfect. Ugh. Well, that sucked. I've got vice grips on this and it doesn't want to let go. This is incredible. Now I have hold of that. And that's not spinning. This one's coming out. Okay. That's 1 out of 3. Right, so that's 2 out of 3, I think. One more, and it's the worst one. This one could very well snap off in there. I'm not, I'm not hopeful I'm going to be able to get this out of here. I got my penetrating oil on there. I have got access to here though now, so I'm going to remove the plugs. Wow, alright, so wow. Who the f put this together? And of course, this has been done up too tight as well. The bolt down here is even missing. I hate that. They use a 12 at the top and a 14 down the bottom. Why aren't I wearing gloves, you might be asking? Well, because they're all the way over there. Okay, this thing needs to go goodbye. There's one more bolt there, and then it's just the old crankshaft pulley holding on, the hardest one to get. I don't see a way of locking the flywheel, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that undone or not. This is an Alto engine. Notice that the pulley doesn't have the dampener in it, the same way a AZ1 pulley doesn't have a dampener in it. Interesting trivia for you. Oh, you're kidding me. With how tough everything's been on this engine, I really don't have high hopes of being able to get this undone, even with an Ugga Dugger. Okay, am I stupid for even trying this? Well, maybe, but I mean, that's not. Oh, it does fit in there. So how am I going to lock this? Right, like, what am I going to do to lock it? I need to. Oh, what? Did you just see that? Oh. Okay, we're about here. I got the cover off. That wasn't difficult at all. The bolts around the outside, you've seen me do that before. I ended up cutting this belt off because I couldn't get to these bolts. They're a pain. They're in behind that darkness. So just cut this belt off. It's over there. What happened? Well, the battery went flat, of course. Yeah, so you saw how easily that came off, I hope. I've just got these loose. And the way I did that, I'll show you. I used one of these. This is called a cam gear locking tool. It goes in there and that locks. So now you can use your handy dandy one of these, get that in there, and off she comes, right? So I've done those two, but I didn't want to go any further without taking you with me, basically. So down here we can see that it's a power grip belt. That is not Suzuki genuine. It is by Gates. So the timing belt has been done, which means either this engine had a problem and they just did this anyway, or it's traveled over 100,000 kilometers. Possibly the first though, because I've never known a water pump to last on an F6A to last that long, so they probably did the water pump at some point and then just did the timing belt because why not? So we're just going to undo that. Now these can come off. This Right, now camshafts. People often ask me how difficult these things are to take apart. Well, let this be an indication. This is the correct way to use penetrating oil on an F6A. In other words, drown it, because if you don't, there's going to be a bolt that you can't get undone. So yeah, go nuts. Yeah, these ones are the worst. These are the absolute worst. I think it's that one that snaps normally. Yeah, that's yeah, just a little bit of penetrating oil on there. These ones are not normally very difficult. That one's normally impossible. That one will snap off if you're not careful, and there's another one down in there that will quite happily just snap off as well. So we're just going to be quite liberal with the old Peneton here. Yeah, just sort of paint the entire area. Okay, right. Yeah, a bit on there, why not? A bit on there, a bit on there. Just be liberal with it. Yes. You don't really want any in there, but if some does go in there, it'll make some black smoke when you first start it up, and then that will be the end of that. Won't hurt a thing. Right. I'm not a professional, but even though I'm not a professional, and everyone should know that I'm not a professional, I still get embarrassed when, you know, things that I try to do that seem easy just don't work. Like, why is this not just coming out? Like, this should not be tight at all. This should be very, very loose. But it's just not. And when things don't work the way they're supposed to, I'm on camera, it's quite embarrassing, even though you're not here. Yep, I put Peneton on this from both sides. Normally, oh yeah, someone used thread locker on it, look at that. Okay, whatever. Thread locker blue. Traditionally, these don't require thread locker. Oh, okay, here we go. Yay! Alright, what do we got here? Right, we can undo that one, can't we? It's right in front of me. Just get that real quick. Let's go through here to undo this one. That wasn't tight. Kind of scary. Can you get to that one? No, can't. Right, so I wasn't able to get to that, but I'm going to need to. These are the water lines for the oil cooler, the factory oil cooler, which is down in there, and they come up right to here, which is very much in the way. I hate the lines that run over the front of the cam cover, the cam belt cover. I really don't like these lines. I wish they went, you know, up and over, or, you know, underneath the engine or something. I really don't like the way they go across the front. They get in the way of everything. Just trying to get this exhaust manifold nut off. I don't know why I always choose the most primitive tool for what I'm doing. Like, I could have used a ratchet spanner, that would have been faster. I could have used the drill, that would have been faster. This top bolt is nasty. This is a really nasty position. Like, being able to get to it, very terrible with the line being right there. I'll show you once this is out of here, but it's impossible to get a socket onto this thing. You actually, look at this. So, this is where it goes, right? Well, this is where they had it. There's another hole here, which is probably not going to be any better. So there's a hole here and a hole here, and both of them are blocked by this. So you can't get a socket to it. Socket just won't line up. So the only way to do it is with a spanner. This is actually pumping. This is good. This is good. This does not look fried at all. Got that off. We can put these. Wow. Ugh. Red fluid. Shouldn't that be green? Think you'll find it should be. That's rooted. Get rid of that. Get off there. Wow, that's dumb. Oh, that's so stupid. Why the f did they do that? That's a bit noisy, isn't it? There's no movement in it. Oh, that's really not nice. It's not a smooth action that you'd like. Yuck. Okay. Tiny turbo. A VZ25 turbo. And that completely covered in junk. Should probably load that straight into the parts washer. It's getting a bit late here, as you can see. It's dark outside. So I'm going to actually stop and come back in the morning, probably, or the morning after, and continue, but have another crack at it. I want to find some more tools, put away some tools that I won't be needing anymore, like the pulley puller. I used that very gently to remove this because it wouldn't come by wiggling it. I just used my hand and did that, and then it pulled off nicely. So I'll put that away, try and find some tools that I'm missing. I don't know what I've done with them. They're probably in the carry truck, to be honest. In the driver's side footwell, probably. 14 mil socket. Don't know where it's gone. I just found the 12. It fell down through there. So yeah, I'm gonna just turn the camera off. I'm not gonna do any more, I don't think. I'm gonna go get a beer. I think it's time for a beer. Anyway, I'll see you in the morning.
And the morning will be in the next video. That is the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you'd like to see what happens next, press subscribe so you don't miss it. Get the bell on. Check out the Facebook group. Check out the Instagrams. Check out the merch store over at Teespring Garage Kei. Details will be in the description of all that stuff and more. Leave a comment. See you in the next one. Later.